You ready? Hey mommies, welcome to the Power Show.
I'm Miriam.
And I'm Shae, aka Shae.
Hey.
And today's topic is moment of honesty / woman in the mirror.
Yes. Okay. Now, the topic of discussion came from a seminar that I went to. It was a woman empowerment seminar, and it was wonderful. It was fabulous. Shout out to my auntie Linda Hodo. She's the one that put it together. It was wonderful. I learned so much, and I felt like in a short amount of time I grew. But before we get into it, do you have a check-in moment?
I do. I really do. So I was on Facebook, scrolling on Facebook, and I saw a friend of mine. His name is Keith Terrell. And we used to hang out all the time. He used to go to our church. I think he lives in Atlanta now, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But we're friends on Facebook still. And I was going through my Facebook feed, and I saw that he's promoting his new show that's going to be on Fox November 4th. So I was just so excited to see that, because the hustle and grind and all the things he's been through, I'm like, it just motivated me. Like, Shae, all your work that you're doing is not going to be in vain. And on his post, he posted a picture of him on set. And he says, like, basically, stay tuned for his new show on Fox airing November 4th. And he was like, basically, it was a full circle from a year from now. And I was like, 1 year. Like, but before that 1 year, he was doing a lot of things and whatnot. But I was just like, wow, like, it was just an eye-opener for me. And it was very encouraging for me to see that. So it was like, you know what? Let me keep doing what I'm doing. Because, you know, who's to say 1 year from now, from us doing this show, where we'll be? You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's my check-in moment. I want to encourage people, like, just don't give up. Just keep going, keep fighting, keep grinding. It's going to pay off eventually.
That's right, yeah. And you have to think it and believe it.
Absolutely.
And like you
Absolutely.
say, you know, so, yeah.
So going back to your conference, you said that you went to. What happened?
And the conference, so it was called Woman in the Mirror. So we literally had like a table full of women, and in each table, they had like a mirror per woman. Okay. And so they would have us look into the mirror, and then we would say either whatever we seen in the mirror. It could have been positive things about ourselves, like you're beautiful, you know, you're smart, or it could have been negative. But in that moment, we had to be honest with ourselves, you know, and from there, they worked on the root of it. Like, okay, not like individually, like, okay, what was your thing? What was your thing? What was your thing? But it was just like general root. You know, most of us women, we go through a lot of the same emotions and thought processes as one another. So
absolutely.
I just really thought that was a creative way for us to start being honest with ourselves. Because the thing was, we look in the mirror every day. Right. Whether we, you know, brushing for work or we taking our time going on a date, whatever, we're looking in the mirror every day as we brush our teeth or whatever. And it's like, when you look in the mirror, what is the first thing that you see? You see an achiever, you see a winner, you see a loser, you see a failure, you know? Wow. But you have to be honest in that moment. And kind of, it's a pivotal moment. Because for me, in that moment, I wasn't feeling good about myself. Like, I didn't feel like I was at the lowest of the low. But it really encouraged me to start looking at myself in a more positive light every time I look in the mirror. So I literally, like, I had a scripture on my mirror anyway concerning my life, but it influenced me to really, like, write out a couple things about myself, positive things, in the mirror, so that when I look in the mirror, I see those
words for affirmation.
Yes.
So what are some things that you can share with us that it was moments of honesty that you had to be honest about?
Well, I know in particular, one thing that I was battling with was failing as far as the person that I had chose to procreate with.
Oh, okay.
So because at that time, during that week, we had struggled about some things and viewpoints, I just kept kicking myself saying, why did I have kids with this guy? why didn't I make better choices? Why didn't I make better decisions? And then from there, it went from, why do I do this wrong? Why do I do that? I just start seeing myself as like a failure in that moment. Like everything that I did, I feel like it was the Midas touch in reverse.
Oh, wow.
You know, and I'm like, that is not true. Like, that's me cursing myself. And I know now that whatever you think about, like, it's going to manifest itself.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
But as far as loneliness, like, I felt like I was alone. You know, I felt like I was unsure of myself and everything that I did. I just was confused. Just feeling negative overall about, you know, yourself. Life and myself. You know?
It's funny you said that, because in the having a moment of honesty, I will say in the past few months for me, I've been doing a lot of self-examination. And I could be very open about this. One in particular, concerning me and my marriage. So I felt like, and just me in general, growing up in a very strict household, strict Christian household, and because I was reared in that way, not able to be comfortable with just having fun in life and being super over the top strict. Like, you can laugh about things, it's okay, right? So in my marriage, I kind of carry that on, where if my husband messed up, and I'm not condoning what he did, I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying that I'm to blame, but it's one area that I didn't like about myself, which was that he wasn't comfortable enough talking to me about just talking to me. It's hard enough for men to open up, and I was just the kind of woman who, if something he thought about was wrong or did was wrong, like, well, you know what the Bible say, you know what the words say, like just dumping the word on him. But God didn't even have to do that, because he was the word, right? He didn't even have to be extra preachy and extra like that. Like, you have to know who you're dealing with, and how to approach people, when to approach people. You have to really use wisdom of how to handle folk. And some people can take good to that preaching mentality, and some people will shut down. And he was a person who shut down. So I feel like as a woman, as a wife, I never want to repeat those cycles as a wife. So my moment of honesty is like, my next marriage, I'm gonna make it very easy for my spouse to talk to me. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like we were in the car just not saying, in silence, not saying nothing. But just the things that a man needs to talk to his woman about, like, talk to me. You know what I mean? So, or even just friendship, even girlfriends, I want to be very approachable to people. And I was not approachable to people. So that's one thing, or moment of honesty for me, that I've been really working on. Like, let me be a little approachable. I want people to talk to me, even if it's something about me, like the shadow, like that you did this or said that. I want you to tell me. You know, so I'm trying to make it easy for people to talk to me. I know I have a hard exterior, and I'm not on purpose. That's just my makeup. That's just my character. But that's one of the moment of honesties or self-examinations I've been kind of like thinking about, like, okay, know when to say something, know when not to say something, know when to check your facial expressions, because sometimes my face would say a million words and I don't have to say nothing, but it can make somebody uncomfortable and not want to continue on talking because I'm looking at them like,
what is you saying?
You know what I mean? So,
and it takes strong friends to embody that, like, that change, to help you, like, change that, because I'm like, I could be like, man, I don't want to talk to her, she mean, like, you know, I could be like, why is you looking like that? You know?
you know me, and it's like, that's just Shae. I ain't worried about that. I ain't faced like that. You know what I'm saying? So
it's okay. But I like what you said about the men, like you being approachable, easy to talk to, and being available for your husband to talk to about just about anything, because they say that about a man, like, when you're with someone, in particular when you're with your husband, because we're women, right? But like, when you're with a man, like, it takes him a while to open up, and then once you say something to injure his pride, you know what I mean? It closes up like a clam. You know? And you know how hard it is for that clam to come back open? Like, it's a lot of work you have to do. Like, women, I've heard or read that women went their whole marriages without even, coming in contact with their man's feelings. Because of that. And I'm not trying to be like that. It's not just a dating thing, it's a marriage thing. Right. So,
And because, like we said, men are vulnerable or they don't like to express their feelings, I don't want to be that woman. So that's my moment of honesty. Like, I don't want to be that woman who my man can't talk to. And especially, too, black women already have a bad name for being just sassy, attitude, bitter, independent in a negative way. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to have that persona. Yeah. So that's one of the things that for me, that's just something I've been working on in me. Yeah. You know.
That moment, like, I realized that was a younger me, right? Like, I would never make those mistakes, or I wouldn't make those mistakes again, choosing, like, the person that I chose to procreate with all over again. Like, I realized that my touch is not the mind is in reverse, that I'm blessed of God. You know, I'm a woman of high value, of high character, of integrity, and I love myself, you know, and I'm worthy of all these wonderful things that I know God is bringing to me, you know, so I just have to talk myself through that. But another thing that I wanted to share was I beat myself up a lot for not being as disciplined as I should be, not knowing that it's an effect of when I was little. I never saw that demonstrated. Like,
you never saw discipline demonstrated?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, my father wasn't there enough to discipline us, and when he was, my mom wouldn't let him. And my mom wasn't disciplined, and she didn't push us to be disciplined. So it's not an excuse or nothing like that. It's not a crutch coming to my adult life, but it's like...
Well, it is, because a child not disciplined, you don't know. I mean, and that if you're not being disciplined, you're not being reared like you're supposed to. Yeah. So that's a huge excuse. Not saying that you should use that to not just be acting a fool, but how do you know to be disciplined if you weren't taught that as a child?
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying, like, that's not the real reason. I'm saying, like, I'm not using that as an excuse. Like, well, when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, so, but I realized that when you older, you put away childish things. You know, once you learn better, you do better. Mm-hmm. But that's something that I'm constantly, like, beating myself, like, dang, I could have got there earlier. Dang, I could have went to sleep sooner. Dang, I should have did this, should have did that.
Because you have discipline.
And so a lot of things in my life that I watch them unfold in a negative way, I feel like it's because of my lack of discipline. When it maybe could have really already been that way. You know what I mean?
But who's to say if it could have already been that way? If I kind of disagree with that, because it probably would never have been that way if you had it. So you don't know if it was just you being you, but if you were disciplined, you don't know how you would be if you were disciplined.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
So you can only look at it from a one-sided thing.
Right, from where you were from. Like, and that's why, like, for me, when it comes to, like, my son being on schedule or disciplined to put him to bed at a certain time, I'm letting him know, like, you're still 6 and you don't just get to stay up all types of night of the hour. You're not doing that. You're not grown. Or excuse me, or like he'll ask me, like, well, how come you can do this and I can't do it? I'm 30. I'll be 34, but I'm 33. You're 6. So that's why I can do it and you can't. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I have to kind of show him as a child, like, it's just certain things you cannot do. Yeah. And you can look forward to those things when you get older. Those are things you can look forward to. Staying up all night and not having a curfew, nobody telling you not to do. I love being grown to a certain extent. Because sometimes adulting, you be like, ooh, take these bills. Yeah, Lord. Take this car, like, you know. But the other part, when you don't really, the only person I ask to is Jesus. Okay? Hello. Hey. Nobody over here telling me what to eat, what to do, when to go to bed. I'm not y'all no more.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? But I have to. So because you didn't have that, you can't really be hard on yourself. All you can do is just say, I want to change my child's, you know, child's discipline because I wasn't disciplined. Yeah. And maybe my kids will be better. It's like almost like a generational curse. Like, I'm gonna stop that generational curse of not being disciplined. With my children. Yeah.
And time management too. So I've been working on that. But I had to learn to, like, ease myself into, like, okay, this is what you do. This is step 1. This is step 2. Instead of just like, you just don't have it, Miriam. You just ain't never gonna get it. You ain't never gonna get it. You just ain't disciplined. You just ain't focused. Like, I had to learn, like, look, it's not my fault, really. Like, I'm learning, you know, and show myself some grace. Because I wasn't gracing myself at all.
I think that's a lot. That, for me, that's a moment that that's a thing that I've been doing too with this moment of honesty. Show yourself some grace. Because at the end of the day, you were only 33. You're At 33, that was your first time being 33.
Yeah.
So you can't be mad at yourself because you was never 33 before.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can't be mad at yourself because you was never 40 before. You can't be mad at yourself because you never had a child before. Mm-hmm. I couldn't be mad or too hard on myself because I was never a wife until I was a wife.
Right.
So certain stuff you just don't learn until you get there. You learn on the job.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So don't expect to just know everything when you're learning on the job.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
On the job training. Life is on the job training.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Like seriously, because you don't know how it would be to have 5 kids until you have 5 kids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how it is to have a daughter. I have a son. So I can't tell somebody who has a daughter how to raise a daughter. I know to a certain extent because I'm a girl.
Yeah.
But my daughter might have a different personality than me.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's like I'm learning as I go with the new daughter that I have.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just certain stuff you just learn as you go. So it's like you have to allow yourself some grace because you're learning in that new role of your life. You know
there's no manual, no handbook, no rule book to life, to parenting, to
just the Bible.
Yeah, the Bible.
And that's that's a great reference to go to. But even in that, you still have to kind of dig deeper into the word
and
to figure out,
learn how to apply it to your life. You know,
absolutely.
So that's a challenge in itself, but God is there for us.
So when you walked away, look at you just feeling Jesus. When you walked away from that conference, though, did you feel? Because a lot of times too, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, it can be a moment where people get depressed after that because they don't like what they see or what they feel, or they're more empowered by it because they like what they see. So how did you feel? Like, did you feel like just I don't really like what I see, it's some things I need to work on, I just feel horrible? Or did you feel like, you know what, I might be lacking in this, but I can do better in that? Or you know, how did you feel?
Yeah, like I might be lacking it. Like there was an even balance, right? Like because I've been low where I just felt like my self-esteem was depleted completely, you know, because of things that people have said in my past that I had to learn to let go and walk away from, and I let it take root in me, and I had to let God and allow myself to let God to uproot it. You know what I mean? So it won't trickle to my kids, or I just won't stop me from getting to my future. So I learned to have that balance. Like even though you're honest with yourself in that moment, you're like, okay, like I'm not feeling it. I know I need to do better, but I'm still doing good in this area. But I still came this far from, you know what I mean? I did walk away from the relationship, like with my kid's father, or I am trying or striving towards it. You know what I mean? So I left feeling good. There was a keynote speaker there. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but her name is Tammy Mack.
Yes, on KJLH.
Yeah, so she was there, and she did a wonderful job at like really highlighting like God's hand moving in her life, right? So she said like you don't know you don't know KNOW, the Tammy Mack that I know. And then she gave us a whole like laundry list of like things that she had been said no to. Like people had told her no about like her acting career on so many different levels, on so many different movies and shows and radio shows and stuff like that. And so she was like, she didn't let that get to her, you know. So she transcended to like, you don't know the Tammy Mack that I know, because God's hand was moving in her life. So
absolutely.
It was really empowering because it really like reflected how like no matter what people see, you have to know that God sees you in a certain way, and He has a plan for your life.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it was empowering. So when I walked away, I was like, man, like that's, if He can do it for her, He can do it for me.
He's not a respected person, and that's the thing. I like when He blesses other people because it shows, and because His word says He's not a respected person. Yeah, like it makes me feel like you're no better than me. Yeah, and not to be like that, but you know what I mean. Like you're no better than me for God to bless me, just like He bless you. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay, so you walked around like a little empowered a little bit. Was there a lot of women there?
There was a lot of women there of all ages, and it was surprising. Like some of them, they were shouting out because they told us to shout out like how we felt, right? So you would hear like sadness, like obese, I'm too big. Or, you know what I mean? Like some people would say all kind of stuff, but it was all kind of ages. It was teenagers there. It was like middle age. It was older women, and it was just beautiful to see women come together and be honest. Because I really believe that, like, the more honest we are, we show our wounds and our scars. That's a part of us healing. As showing it to people and people seeing it, they'll get healing from that. You know, we all gone through the same thing. Like I said earlier, essentially we fight the same things and have the same types of thoughts. So yeah, it was beautiful.
Another moment for me, I think, is just accepting my own gift. Like, my gift has nothing to do with somebody else's. So, like, with me being really digging deeper into my gift, but I had a moment of honesty when things got hard, I was a quitter. And I was a quitter for, like, years. And it started when I quitted basketball in high school. I was a team captain in high school. And I was sick of all them practices. I was doing 2 days. It was just, I'm not getting paid for this. This is not no WNBA. This is high school. Like, y'all doing too much.
Right.
And I quit. And I told my dad. My dad didn't tell my mom. She was livid. Like, you let her quit? Like, no. I should have finished that season. And then next year, if I didn't want to do it, you quit. Yeah. But no. So when stuff got hard for me, my moment of honesty was just quitting. But this time around, I feel like, and I think part of it is too just finding my niche, you know. Yeah. But I got to the point I said, you know what? No, I'm tired of having hobbies. I really want to walk in my purpose.
Right. Yes.
And then walking my purpose, it's like I want to walk in my purpose. I want to be good at it, and I want to dig deeper. And I don't care how hard, how long I do it. I'm not gonna quit. And I think I'm finally at that place.
That's right.
Now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how hard it is, how much tapings I have to do, where I have to speak, who I have to teach to, how much writing I have to do. I love it, and I can't quit.
Good.
Because at the end of the day, it's gonna pay off eventually somewhere. And two, it's gonna reach someone. I get people all the time coming up to me like, I love this show, I love that show. But it's doing something for me, because it's like, y'all don't even know that day I was extremely tired, but I pulled it off.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, like, she loves the show, but she don't know what it took to get that show up and running. You know what I mean? So, for me, it's like just not quitting when it gets hard, or when I feel like I'm not getting the buzz that I want to get.
Right.
Or the people saying or talking about it. It's like, no, you keep going.
Yeah.
So, it's just me, basically, my moment of honesty, my woman in the mirror looking at me is like, just being a better me. I tell myself, like, I owe that to myself and to my son.
That's right.
I want to be better in all I do. Friendships, family, as a parent, as my ministry in life, work. I just want to be a better Shae.
That's great.
And each year, I should be a better Shae.
That's right.
So that's just like my ultimate goal. What about you?
That's wonderful. Yeah, and I like what you said about just sticking with it. Like, of course, sometimes we know things are not for us. Like, when we go shopping, shoe shopping, we like, oh, these are cute, try it on, it's too tight, too small, whatever. And it's like, okay, as much as I want these, I can't get them, whatever. Same in life, like, this is fun, but this is not really my purpose. This is not what God intended me to do. So,
absolutely.
But one thing that I had to learn recently is consistency. And that's one thing that I'm really allowing myself to really, like, bask in. Like, okay, just stay there. Because I was a quitter, too. I was a self-sabotager. Like, that's the biggest thing. And I guess that's the same thing in a sense, but it's kind of different. Like, you see something good coming and you stop it before it's come. You do something to, like...
Because you're afraid of success.
So. Yes. So, yeah, like, I'm not there anymore. But I really see I see myself evolve from that. And I had to evolve from that by being consistent, just standing there and letting things come to me. You know what I'm saying? Good things, not bad things, good things. And it's not easy for me, but like moving forward, that's what I'm going to continue to do. You know, like, for example, one thing I would do differently is I would just wait instead of rushing into a relationship because I was lonely or desperate. I felt like he was a good suitor for me. I would wait. I would continue to date him, you know, definitely not sleep with him before marriage. Right. But I would just take my time and just let things flow naturally instead of wanting it now and just really examining him. You know, and then the discipline thing, like now I'm consistent in my routine. I try my best to go to sleep every night at the same time, put my kids down at the same time, you know, like make a list of what I'm going to fix, my meals before, you know, the week start, and wash on a certain day, and, you know, keep reading before bed and getting up early, praying, meditating, you know, read my word and stuff. That's the things that I'm doing. But the key word for me is consistency. And I feel like God's going to bring to me whatever I need to know, you know.
Right. Wrapping it up to our 1 minute ministry. And our ministry is basically like what we want our viewers to take away from what we're talking about. So let's do our 1 minute dance.
Hey.
1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, and sing. So I just want people to take away from this topic is when you have a moment of honesty, just I'm all about evolution, making sure that you evolve and be a better you. So in 2020, I want us to be better than we were last year in 2019. Mm-hmm. So in looking in yourself and having a moment of honesty, what things can you do differently and better that you struggle with now? Right. Whether it's showing up to things on time, whether it's making your meals for the week, getting your outfits ready for work the day before so you're not late, whether it's putting your kids to bed, like what things can you do? Or whether it's just you being a better friend, a better mom, what moment of honesty, what can you do to look at yourself in a mirror, to appreciate who you are and loving your authentic self? Dr. Eva. So that's what I want people to take away from this ministry is what things can you do to look at yourself to be a better you? That's the one in the mirror. Love you guys. Hope to see you soon.